All right, welcome Division B. We are pulling the speaking order. We will begin with table topics, followed by international. Let's get started. Area B1. Nicholas, you are the first contestant. All right, now we're into area B2 table topics. Speaker number 1, Yolanda. Linda, you will be speaker number 2. Mona, speaker number 3. So Casey, you'll be speaker number 4 for table topics, area B3. Did I say B3? That was B2. Now let's get started with area B3. We have 2 contestants, Stephanie and Bernadette. All right, Bernadette Smith is speaker number 1. So that means Stephanie, you will be speaker number 2 for area B3. Let's keep this party moving. We are now in area B4 for table topics. It's going to be Michael or Nick. All right, Michael, you are speaker number 1. So by default, Nick, you are speaker number 2 for area B4.
Yeah.
All right, Division B, we are up to B5 between Mary Lee and Dawn. Dawn Fernandez, speaker number 1. By default, Mary Lee Madison is speaker number 2.
Yes.
Division B, you have a 6th area. All right, let's get started with them. We have 3 people competing. Caitlin, Sally, and Chris. All right, Sally Diebel, you will be speaker number 1. Chris, you will be speaker number 2. And even though I said Caitlin earlier, it sounds like it's Catherine. So Catherine, you will be speaker number 3. All right, Division B. Now we're moving on into international. We have 2 speakers for area B1. Please roll the wheel. All right, John Soriano, you'll be speaker number 1. And by default, Daniela, you are speaker number 2. We're working our way up. We are now in area B2 for international. Roll the wheel. Speaker number 1, Matthew Navarez. Speaker number 2 is Michael. Joel Kanakin, you will be speaker number 3. And speaker number 4 will be Jane Davies. That was area B4, 3.
Yeah.
Or area B2. Now let's move on to area B3. We have 2 contestants between Rab and Stephanie. See who goes first. Okay, Stephanie, you are speaker number 1. So that will make Rab speaker number 2 for area B3.
Oh.
All right, Division B, we're up to area B4. We'll see who's first. Brad, I think you're speaker number 1 for area B4. Congratulations.
Oh, wait.
Volunteer.
Okay.
Sorry for that technical difficulty. This is area B5. Mary Lee Madison, you are speaker number 1. B5. And the moment you've all been waiting for, international area B6. Speaker number 1 will be, I'm going to guess it's Ashley. Ashley, you are speaker number 1. Thank you all for listening in. I want to remind all the areas that have only 1 speaker, you still have to qualify for time and arrive at your designated check-in time. Club members and club officers, now that you know the speaking order, please, please, please come cheer on your contestants. It will be a fun night for them. Welcome, Division C. Are you ready for our contest? Hopefully you are. Today we're going to announce the speaking order. We're going to start with all the table topics first, and then we'll move into all the international contestants. Let's start with C1. Roll, roll, roll. Then Vong, you're speaker number 1. So by default, Mary Bogdanov, you are speaker number 2. All right, C2 table topics. We have 2 contestants, Stephen and CJ. All right, Stephen, you're speaker number 1. So CJ Baumgartner, you will be speaker number 2.
Here we go.
All right, let's move along. We are still on table topics. C3, roll the wheel. Valerie, speaker number 2. So Andrew, you will be speaker number 2. Sorry, Valerie, you're speaker number 1. Andrew, you're speaker number 2. Getting late, guys.
Yeah.
And as luck would have it, we are now up to C4. Please roll the wheel. Cindy Parker, you are speaker number 1 for table topics in C4. So Antonio Valles, you will be speaker number 2.
Here we go.
All right, C5, are you ready? It's between Francisco and Jennifer. All right, Jennifer, you will be speaker number 1. So Francisco, that makes you speaker number 2 for area C5. I want to remind all you to please show up at your designated start times. And if you are the only speaker, you still need to qualify for time. And let's move on to international. All right, everyone. Now we're starting over with international for Division C, Area 1. 3 contestants. Let's see who's first. Tudor, you will be speaker number 1. Jason, speaker number 2. So that makes Devin speaker number 3 for international C1. Let's move on to area C2 international between Mike and Ralph. Speaker number 1. I'm talking slow on purpose. Mike Wallen, speaker number 1. So by default, Ralph, you will be speaker number 2. 2, that was area C2. Now let's move on to area C3 between Sarah, Valerie, and Joe. Hey, Valerie, you're speaker number 1. Joe Barker, speaker number 2. So by default, Sarah, you'll be speaker number 3. That was C3. So now we're moving on to C4, 2 speakers between Tony and Andra. All right, Amber Hawkins, you will be speaker number 1, and Tony Vias will be speaker number 2.
Yeah.
All right, Division C. Final contestants for C5 between Lynette and Enrique. All right, Lynette, you will be speaker number 1 for C5, so that makes Enrique speaker number 2. Division C, those are your speaking orders. Again, please be there at your designated time. Club members, club leaders, please be there to support your contestants. Again, if you are the only speaker, you still need to qualify for time. Good luck to all contestants. See you there. February 15th at Great Wolf Lodge. Welcome, welcome, Division D. Today, we're going to go over the speaking order. We will start with all the table topics areas, and then we'll go into international. Let's get started with D1, area D1. D1 has 1 contestant, so even though the wheel is spinning, sorry. John Hammond, you will be speaker number 1 for area D1, table topics.
Yeah.
All right, D2, 2 contestants between Wayne and Michael. The first name to pop up will be speaker 1, and by default, the second one will be speaker 2. All right, Michael, you will be speaker number 1. Wayne, that makes you speaker number 2 for area D2 table topics.
Yeah.
Moving along to area D3, we have 4 contestants. Let's see who's first. Wheel. Vanna Wheel. Sam Smith, not the singer, will be speaker number 1. Ben Hayes, speaker number 2. Cynthia Kerford, speaker number 3. Max Prasad, that makes you speaker number 4 for area D3.
Yeah.
We're making progress. We are now at the D4 between John and Terry. John Groves, you'll be speaker number 1 for area D4 table topics. Terry Lee, you will be speaker number 2. D5 area 5 for Division D has 1 speaker. L, you will be speaker number 1 out of 1.
Yeah.
That was table topics. Before we move on to international, if there is only 1 contestant, just a quick reminder, you do need to qualify for time. We're now moving on to international. We will be starting with area D1. We have 3 contestants. Jeremy Banuelos, you'll be speaker number 1. Ishanta, you will be speaker number 2. And Amanda Kuda, you will be speaker number 3 for Area D1 International. D2 International, we have 2 contestants, Christy and Kimberly. Christy West, you will be speaker number 2. Kim Humphreys, speaker number 2. I'm sorry, did I see? Kim Humphreys, your speaker number 2. Christy, you will be speaker number 1. Sorry. Let's hope I don't mess this one up. D3, 4 contestants. Speaker number 1, Enrique. Speaker number 2, Mariah Hayes. Between Chad and Roy. All right, Chad Doyle, you will be speaker number 3. So by default, Roy Schott, you will be speaker number 4 for Area D3 International. We are now up to Area D4. 2 contestants, Max and Michael. Michael Holding will be speaker number 1. Max Prasad, speaker number 2 for International Area D4. All right, Division D, this is D5. There are, 1 contestant. Roll the wheel. Tommy, you are speaker number 1. That was D5 International. I just want to remind all the contestants, even if you are the only speaker in your area, you still must qualify for time. Club officers and club members, please, please, please attend the division contest at Great Wolf Lodge on February 15th at the designated time to support the contestants, and let's have a great day. Thank you.